I mean, Ryan, do you see it that way? And Dundee United is the next game for Celtic a week today. We're recording on the 3rd. Do you think Wilfried Nancy will get that game?
I do. I'm kind of probably going against the grain here, but history tells you the Celtic board are always very reluctant to act quickly. You look at Neil Lennon's 10-in-a-row tenure. The fans were calling for Lennon's head, and I think it was about December time. Then it rolled into January, and I think he finally left around about February. But the season was done and dusted by then, and 10 in a row had well and truly gone. And there was no trophies left to play for. So I just don't think, and I think with Tony Mowbray as well, the Celtic board were late to act in that as well. So I think given the fact that this is, I think in the statement when Wilfried Nancy was confirmed as Celtic boss, I think it was Michael Nicholson who said that Nancy was their number one choice. So, this is, and I think obviously he's got close connections with, or he's got previous working connections with Paul Tisdale. So, are the Celtic board willing to hold their hands up yet again this season and admit they got it wrong? For me, I don't think so. I think they've done a lot of planning into this January window, which, by the way, I can see going exactly the way it went under Tony Mowbray. You're going to get a raft of loan signings in, just stopgap signings to do, because as Peter Lawwell has said in the past, this is notoriously a difficult window to sign players, and it is. But, if Celtic done their job right in the summer, they wouldn't be in this mess. So they need to, the 2 strikers is an absolute minimum, bare minimum. And, Wilfried Nancy, I'm sure he's probably identified players from the MLS. Are the Celtic board going to fork out millions of pounds, probably pay over the odds, given the amount of money, £77 million they've got in the bank? Are they going to pay over the odds to back Wilfried Nancy? I wouldn't be surprised if there is people in that boardroom who have already lost faith, but ultimately the final decision will come will lie in Dermot Desmond's doorstep. So for me, I just can't see him getting the bullet quite yet. I think this will kind of roll on, the protests will roll on, and then they'll come, all just finally explode maybe around February, March time, when Celtic season is over, maybe out the Scottish Cup, maybe another dreadful result. I think that's when it will happen. But as I say, in terms of January, I think it's just going to be stopgap signings. I don't think the manager's going to be properly backed. I think it'll be loan players that will probably come in. And then I think Celtic's season is just going to I think it's already in tatters anyway. It's crash and burn.
I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the league table up on the screen now. I thought it was interesting, Ryan, you said a few minutes ago that you think Celtic have bowed out of the title race. I think that's the way you said it. I mean, they're 6 points behind Hearts now. They're now tied with Rangers, and I should say a Rangers team that has been debated as arguably one of the worst Rangers teams of all time. I mean, Mick, Graeme, how do you see the title race now?
I think their current guys, Celtic, are in big trouble. We know that, don't we? Like, that's the truth. Like, you can see that every game follows a similar pattern. Like, made the point there about signings and loan signings, but it's greater than that. I know this crux where it's like buy players, and I just think structurally, the one thing that Nancy's railing against, it's not structural, it is structural, there's problems. I think that Austin Trusty one for the second goal, Trinity's second goal, would show that. It's like pick your poison, you go and close the player or stay back, but that should never be such a gap. It just looks so abnormal when he was racing in and goal when they were caught out. I think it is structural. They're really weak from corners. Cal McGregor doesn't touch the ball enough, and I know there's been criticism in the past that everything goes through him, but the game kind of passes him by with these long. I think that's the issue, and that's why in the current format, irrespective of who's signed, I think Celtic are in a world of trouble. I really do. I just don't think under this manager, it just doesn't look feasible. I just don't see how it'd be possible unless there is changes everywhere.
The most baffling thing for me as well, and I agree with what you said there, Graeme, the most baffling thing for me as well is, Paul Tisdale, I think he's led this along with Dermot Desmond and the board, but they've appointed this man knowing that he was going to implement that 3-4-3 formation, his new system, and they know the personnel that Celtic had available, yet they still went ahead with this appointment. It just doesn't make sense. It's another just catastrophic mistake. One of countless this season, and who's going to take accountability? Who's going to shoulder the blame? We're going to get a statement from Celtic. We might get it at the middle of the night, as they tend to do, because I don't think there's much transparency inside the Parkhead corridors. But it's just, it's just a complete mess.
But I think, like you say, but you talk about the title race, but I mean, they're 6 points behind Hearts and level with Rangers with what 19 games to go, is it? So I mean, it's 18 games to go. So you're thinking, well, it's all there if they act quickly, have a good window. It should be there, but in the current form, it's relegation form. Never mind title winning form. I mean, 2 wins in 8 games is not anywhere near title winning form, and they are trending in the wrong direction. Can't keep a clean sheet. They're disorganised. I agree with Graeme saying. I think talking about Callum McGregor, this structure is killing them but I think he's not quite doing what his manager wants him to do because he doesn't believe in what he's been asked to do. I mean, you actually see it sometimes. He's been told to go further up and push up the pitch, but you can almost see him going, if I go any further, I'm killing the guy behind me because Trusty's behind him on his own. Trusty's run about like honestly, like the missus on Christmas Day, we went Christmas dinner, completely panicking, clashing pans and all that, smoke going off everywhere. He's running about absolutely like a man possessed. And today, I thought he was poor today, but that's been coming for weeks because he has been minding the shop on his own for weeks. My last gaff tackles, running about with his hair on fire, like I say, blowing pots and pans and smoke pouring out the kitchen window.